Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, I'd like you to choose the stone or stones that call to you. And you can do this in any way. You can pick a stone asking Spirit a specific question, and the cards may give you an answer to that question. You can pick a stone and there's different aspects. One stone for you, one stone for another person. You can do it anyway because it's your intuition that is important here. So you do as you're led. And we'll begin. These are piles of 3 because 3 tells the story a little better than just 1. For those of you who chose this pink and brown stone, we have the Death card, the Victory card, 2 men on horses. Isn't that interesting? And the 10 of Wands. All right. Well, the Death card, you have to look at the surrounding cards to see if that's an end that's a good thing or an end that's a tough thing. Well, you've got the Victory card right by you. So I'm thinking this is an ending to something that has been overburdening you, something that has been really weighing you down, and you're good. You're bringing that stuff home. You're strong. You have many priorities, many goals, many things you do or prioritize, but victory comes. So the 6 of Wands is sort of like, it's a victory that others would acknowledge. It's a victory that isn't just a victory to you personally, sort of objectively, it's a victory. Others would recognize this. There's the laurel crown for victory, and people are applauding. So you're bringing an end to something that was overburdening you. You're done with it. And that's a good thing. You should be proud of yourself. All right. Well, that's interesting. That's pretty straightforward one, I feel like. All right. For those of you who chose the fossil, we have the 9 of Swords, the 2 of Swords, the Ace of Swords, all about swords. Lots of thinking. Thinking. Sometimes the thinking that is keeping you up at night or just go around in circles. It's not productive. It's worry. It's negative thinking. You are not alone. There are plenty of folks having trouble with trying to figure things out in a world that has a lot of uncertainty now. And it looks like Spirit is helping you because Spirit is bringing in with this Ace of Swords a perspective that brings victory, a perspective that is truth, a perspective that is inspired, divine, so that you can see it in that way. So you've got 2 different ways of thinking about this situation. I feel like there's an urgency here, like you'd love to just settle upon one plan. There's something important going on in your life that you've got a plan for, and you'd love to just settle in on it, but it's really hard because you can't tell the future. You don't know what the next year brings. You don't know what's going to happen with the pandemic. You don't know what's going to happen with the protests. You don't know what's going to happen. But Spirit is saying, it's okay. I can, in an instant, give you a new perspective. If you will grab it, if you will take this perspective I'm offering you, then you can have peace. You can be at rest, even though you can't make a decision yet. So that's interesting. Yeah. So even though there are many situations that nobody would blame us that we worry about them, there's always freedom from worry about anything. So you're encouraged to kind of do some work, see what Spirit would have you think about that. For those of you who chose this gray petrified wood, we have the Queen of Wands, the 2 of Wands, the Knight of Cups. So they're not major arcana, but they really are nice cards. So the Queen of Wands is obviously your energy. Very purposeful. Look at these wands. Yeah, it's like you have your priority in hand. In fact, there may be two main priorities that you're looking at, two main things that are part of your world, that are important in your world. And you want to move forward, and you've got energy and purpose, and you will. This is the World Explorer. It's not an attitude of fearfulness or withdrawal. It's an attitude of, what amazing thing can I experience next? What purpose, what goal can I conquer next? It's like that. You may have two. I feel like there's two main purposes or priorities in your life that you're always pushing forward. You're always coming forward with them. And with maturity and, yeah, I mean, the Queen of Wands has maturity, but yet she has vigor. She has purpose. The Queen of Wands can be inspiring. She can be fiery. She can be a lot of fun. So I like the energy here. The Knight of Cups, that's some good news coming in. That can be a message coming in that's good news. Makes you feel good. So that's nice. That can be somebody coming into you and bringing you good news, or you bringing someone else good news. Occasionally, the Knight of Cups can be a suitor. Can be somebody who is trying to make a good impression on you for some reason or another. So, you know, that I feel like the context is you moving forward with your priorities, and the Knight of Cups just kind of brings something good to that. Brings some good news to that, some good energy to that. Why do I feel laughter in this reading? I just feel laughter in this reading. You know, maybe the Knight of Cups makes you laugh. So those are great cards. Great cards. No bad cards. All right, for those of you who chose the Clear Stone, we have the Lover's card as your major arcana. We have the Page of Swords and the Five of Swords. What an interesting reading. For some of you, this is about a romantic relationship where you're having a little bit of trouble. Maybe you're sorting things out, because the Page of Swords is sort of, it can be speaking out a little impulsively, you know, without seeing the whole picture or thinking about the effects of your words. And the Five of Swords can be sort of, I'm going to win, winning at any cost. There may be arguing. There may be, yeah, a little too harsh in the arguments. But there is love. There's the Lover's card. There is love. So it might be a time when you're hashing some things out, and just don't forget the love. Don't forget the love, because that's the divine part. That's the inspired part. That's blessed. All right, for some of you, this doesn't have to do with a relationship, but it has to do with dynamics. Like, the heart of love is here. That's your heart. That's where you'd like to come from. That's where you like to live. You may be somebody who can tap into that kind of spiritual, angelic love and be a conduit for that. You may be somebody who can do that. And yet, maybe around you, you're hearing about this, you're hearing about this. Maybe there are people who, want to argue, want to win, want to convince each other, but they're not presenting their arguments in a way that is balanced. Because swords can be all speech, all thought. The emotion is put aside. Compassion can be put aside, especially with these two cards. So that could be the meaning of that. You know, even though this is surrounding you, you are holding true to your mission to love. For some of you, this Five of Swords is actually the Victory card. You may be cutting away something, maybe cutting away thoughts that are poorly developed, speech that's poorly developed, or maybe somebody is speaking in a way that's thoughtless or immature. So this may be that in a loving way, you claim victory and just, okay, I am not tuning into that right now. I'm cutting that away. I am not entertaining that right now. So these cards can mean quite a few different things. But it's interesting. I share the meanings of the cards because your intuition has to come in and help you to understand what this means in your life. All right. Well, I thank you all so much and have a good day. You take care. Bye-bye.